Hello everyone, how's it going? It's me, WoWcrendor. I would hope you'd expect me by now because, it's my YouTube channel and I'm always here. But today, I am once again camping with Nixxiom.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic, man. It's an exciting time, man. Like I've been making some new machinima and stuff that's coming out on my YouTube channel. Been changing up the Twitch. Been doing voice acting for Planet Dolan. Just got back from camping out in the frickin' mountains, staying out in a cabin out in the mountains. Then I rode the Virginia Creeper Trail. Been hanging out with a lady friend. I've been all over North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia. I've been everywhere, man. I've been all over the place the past month. It's been great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm not doing as much as you are, but I mean, I still had my gallbladder surgery only a few months back, so
That is true.
I'm still recovering from it, but it's nowhere near where I was even the last time we made one of these videos.
Last time we made a video like this, you actually had to abandon ship. No pun intended. Sea of Thieves.
The last time, we were playing Sea of Thieves on your channel, and I got really nauseous. Let me tell you about that day, by the way. So,
all right, well, I know about that day, but you can tell the audience about that day.
So, I can tell you about what happened after that day as well.
Okay, let's hear it.
Pretty much, it'd been I think a month since I'd had my gallbladder surgery. I was feeling great, phenomenal. And it was Easter, and I had the day before I had Red Robin, which probably contributed. And then I had ham and mashed potatoes and food my mom made, which probably had a bunch of butter and fat in it. Ooh. And then I had a lot of wine. I was like, woo, I'm feeling good. And then we had dessert, and we had coffee and shit. And then we were going to record at night. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have some raviolis, which is already kind of fatty as well.
Yeah.
And so we were playing, and I started getting queasy. But it wasn't bad enough where I was like, oh, whatever, I can keep playing. And it was legit making me seasick being on the boat, in the video game. I was like, oh my God. And then we hit that point where I was like, oh my God, I'm getting really nauseous. Yeah, sick. And I was like, I got to go. So after we stopped recording, I definitely had the runs. My body was probably like, yo, man, we don't have a gallbladder anymore. You can't do this shit. All right. So that happened. And I was just so nauseous, to the point where I was like, can I just throw up? I would love to throw up right now and just move on with my life instead of feeling like this. So I legit laid on the floor. I was laying on the floor being like, okay. And then we went and got some...
You looking up at the ceiling all right.
I was like, all right. And then we got some Gatorade. I had some of that. And then I just fell asleep for 3 hours. And I woke up and I felt better. And I was like, all right. I'm good now. But for the next couple of weeks, my stomach wasn't great. And I think it was just... That's part of the adaptive process of being like, yo, man, we got to adjust to this shit together, all right? You can't go overboard. Literally.
Yeah.
And so,
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. And so, ever since then, I've tried to eat multiple meals a day. I haven't really gone super fatty at all. At least I try not to do 2 meals in a row that are super fatty. Because I had Red Robin that night before, and then I had fatty food for breakfast essentially on Easter. So it's so early for me technically. So if I eat a fatty meal, I try to not eat another one right after it to give my digestive system a break. But ever since then, I've been getting better. Occasionally my surgical incision site gets kind of sore, but it goes away after a little bit. It's kind of just over strenuous activity sometimes, but for the most part, I'm myself again, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I like how these Nixxiom and Crendor videos have become your gallbladder update videos. Every single one is let's talk about the gallbladder for 15 minutes.
I had 20 ounces of fluid drained from my knee as well. It's our medical stories.
People are gonna be like, wow, the gallbladder is my favorite character on this channel.
Great. Hey guys, it's me, Gallbladder. Well, I guess I don't even have a gallbladder anymore. So
he's just in a garbage can somewhere. I'm so lonely.
You still got yours though, and it's doing pretty well, right? You haven't had any attacks?
I've had no issues since my operation in November. I'm still good. And dude, let me tell you, man, it was the month of April. I was gone for the majority of the month on vacation. It was my first vacation in well over a year. Let me tell you, man, like the last few months before April, I mean, it was pretty hard. I mean, I was mentally exhausted. I even talked to you about that in private a few times. Like, oh, I just feel so mentally exhausted. Like, just, you know, like all the, like, to kind of explain to the viewers, you know, like you're, like, as a content creator, it's like you're always having to be creative and come up with new video ideas. And as soon as you release a video, you got to come up with a new creative idea for your next one. When you go on stream, you know, you always got to be entertaining. Like, you know, even if you're having a bad day, like you're like, oh, I don't want to stream. But as soon as that camera comes on, hey guys, what's up? It's Nixxiom here. You know, you got to be, it wears on you after a while. It makes you mentally tired. And so the month of April for me was just such a relief. And but there was a big con to my vacation, which lasted almost a month for the most part. It was like, man, like me, it was my lady friend, my friend Voldikun and his wife, and Voldikun and his wife are two of my viewers over on my Twitch channel that I became friends with. And I was like, dude, come on over to my house, like come stay with me for 2 weeks. And they did that last year, and they came back this year, and we went to a lot of restaurants, and I mean, we ate out a lot, and we, you know, drove around a lot in my car, and I put on a lot of weight in the month of April. A lot of weight. I lost like quite a bit of weight since the beginning of the year, and I've like put quite a bit of it back on. And now I gotta lose it again, but that's okay. You know, whatever. I can be kind of gluttonous for a month, and it's not like I don't have the discipline to go to the gym, because I mean I do that and I go running and stuff.
Yeah, just taking a break.
But let me tell you, like if there was ever a time for my like gallbladder to start acting up again, it would have been in April. I mean, we were eating like ice cream cake all the time, and like eating like, you know, barbecue ribs and all this stuff. But I'm good, man. I'm still good. No pain, no nothing. So I'm okay over on this end. At least for now.
Like a lot of times, like you can eat it and like your gallbladder is like, oh, this is fine. Like I guess it's a matter of the stone kind of getting clogged in the bile duct a bit, or even if it just slightly blocks it. So a lot of times you can just get lucky, or like, you know, what, just the way of the movement of the stones in your gallbladder or whatever it may be. But it could be as simple as like, oh, I ate a hamburger today, and then it's like, well, there it goes. So I mean, you never know.
I mean, it's still something that like lingers in the back of my subconscious, but for right now, like I'm okay.
And you at least know about it. Like,
I know if something does happen, I know, oh, I gotta change my diet now. And I know like what to expect, and I'm still being pretty, you know, careful with what I'm eating. Like I try not to eat something too fatty a few hours before bed and stuff like that, but I'm all right. Long story short, I'm all right. So
that's just
have a lot of energy right now.
Like you had it really bad, but like even as someone who never had like the pain you experienced, it would like slowly wear you down over time. Like you just wake up every day and you're like, oh, there's that pain again. Yeah, it's not like something that's gonna be like, oh, it's debilitating, but it's just something. It's like, oh, it's there it is again. So it's just any type of pain can be frustrating to deal with.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, going back to what I mentioned earlier, I mean, like even if you're like in a bit of pain, you know, as soon as the webcam turns on like Twitch, for example, you know, hey guys, what's up? Yeah, you just gotta bury it, and again, like it'll wear on you after a while. So I just can't say enough that, you know, the vacation in April was just such a breath of fresh air for me. Like I've like kind of come back with such a renewed energy, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm bringing the Machinimas back on my channel, which it never really stopped, but I did slow down quite a bit. But I'm gonna try to make them be coming out on a more regular basis. People have been asking like, oh, Nixxiom, we really want a how-to race series to go with your how-to class series. It's coming.
People always love my my how to win it. I think races the most out of all the things, which is kind of funny because I remember when I made that video, I was like, this video isn't even that good. Like I remember just being like, it's gonna do okay, and then now it's like my third most video I've ever had or something. So it's like, I guess I was wrong.
But it's like my first ever like top 10 video. Like one time I was like, I'm gonna try making a top 10, but I'm gonna try to make it kind of funny and silly. I'm gonna make this thing called Top 10 Idiots of World of Warcraft. First ever top 10. Just made it like, in a day or two, however long it took. I don't remember. It's like at 4.4 million views.
Oh my god.
It's my most viewed video. I'm like, what? Like I remember it got to like 1 million views in like a week or two, and I was like, what? I mean, it blew my mind.
I think that's got more views than any of my videos even have. I think my most views is like 2.5 million. And ironically, I think it's a League of Legends video. It's not even a WoW video. Maybe I should maybe I should make more League videos. I don't even know.
There you go. Just make your channel elite. Turn yourself into LOLcrendor.
It's your WoWcrendor. Where's the WoW? I can tell you that I only made myself named WoWcrendor because somebody had the name Crendor on YouTube already.
No, I don't think you said that.
Like,
actually,
I remember...
No, yeah, you did, actually, yeah.
Yeah, like, I wanted to make my channel just Crendor, and some guy had the name Crendor already, and I was like, who would name themselves Crendor? Like, I just randomly made it up for WoW. And so, I was like, all right, I'll just put WoW in front of it, because I play WoW, and then I did.
What you can do, if you ever decide down the road to make your channel a not WoW channel, you can keep the name WoWcrendor, but instead of it being WoWcrendor, it can be WoWcrendor.
Well, that's kind of what I went with. I was like, wow, it's Crendor. But I technically have, if you put in youtube.com/Crendor, it'll redirect you to my channel.
Yeah,
I managed to do that through my Maker Studios contacts. I'm not with them anymore, but it was,
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, going back to like having to always be on and be creative. That's one of the downsides of the quote industry or the job or whatever. Because everyone's like, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a streamer, I want to do that. Like it'll wear you down over time because you no longer play games for fun. Essentially, like you always think like I could be streaming this, I could be making a video out of this. Like I can do all these things. Like as somebody who I'm approaching 10 years of doing this, which is kind of insane because it's like. I remember making my first video being like, all right, it's going to be about a gnome and it's just a hard gnome life. And I made it and it was just like, just a little hobby thing I did. And then it just kind of took off. And ever since then, here I am 10 years later. It's insane to think like how much has changed, how much the internet's even changed on top of all that. But I even just want to take a day and just like clean. Like go through the house and like just clean everything and like fix stuff that needs to get fixed and like I don't know, just like organize. And it's I kind of delay it because I'm like I can't do that because I gotta stream at least like an hour. Like my mind's always like I gotta at least do one video or like I gotta stream one. Like it's always in your mind, and that's kind of a stressful part of it, even though it's not a quote stressful job. Like we're not coal mining or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, there are pros and cons to every job. I mean, I've certainly dealt with. What's interesting is oh man, what was I gonna say? How was I gonna word it? You have these people who, they're not video editors, they're not entertainers online. And they don't see like, sitting in your room editing YouTube videos for like 8 hours a day as a real job. They just think, you're just playing video games. You're playing video games, Crendor, and those Machinima videos are just magically appearing on your channel. Like, obviously. And they don't understand. And like, to me, like it might sound strange for somebody on the other end of the spectrum, but as a content creator, I sort of, at times, I love the job that I do. It's the best job in the world, but there is a appeal to the simplicity of like a non-self-employed job. Like just go to work, 8 hours, go home, you're done. Like you don't need to worry about nothing else. You just go, you do your job, you go home. Like, and then on the weekends you get drunk and you have fun with your friends. As a content creator, it's every day, man. Like there are no days off. I mean, I don't know about Crendor here. Maybe he's got like a schedule where he takes Saturday and Sunday off. But for me, it's every day. Every day. Like,
I'll even hit Saturday and be like, hey, man, I feel like playing some League of Legends. But I'm like, I can stream this League of Legends. There's 2 hours. Even 2 hours. You're like, you know what? I can stream this.
Yeah.
It's one of those
Yeah,
things.
being, you might think, oh, Crendor, he's just playing League of Legends, but you gotta put on the entertaining persona. You gotta ramp up your energy. You gotta talk and communicate. You gotta be funny. Like, after a while,
I have such a small supply of energy that using
like
any of
sloth.
those vital resources is just extremely detrimental to my mental health.
Dude, when I was on vacation, me and my lady friend were watching frickin' Planet Earth, and the sloth part came on. I was like, oh, it's the Crendor section. It was like this sloth just walking slowly through the jungle in the trees looking for a mate. And I was like, oh, Crendor, go get him, tiger, go get him. And he was just like, like calling out for a woman, but there was no woman. And Crendor walked away sadly because he didn't get none. And I was like, oh, Crendor.
Sloths are actually a really weird animal when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they move really slowly. They always, there's something about them where it's like, how is this thing, like, surviving?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's great.
So tell me about all your camping and your vacation time you've had, because I'm curious now. I want to hear all the stories.
Crendor loves camping, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love survival shows, but I haven't really gone camping, which is ironic.
All right, so we'll change that. But all right, so I went camping. To anybody that's familiar with North Carolina or the area, there's a national forest west of Charlotte. No, excuse me, east of Charlotte, called Uwharrie, and pretty like little big chunk of national forest. And they have the Uwharrie Trail. It's not that big of a national forest, but it's still a national forest. I mean, Uwharrie Trail is like, I think 22 miles or something. But me, my lady friend, my friend Zach, who's a boxer, my friend Toby, and his wife, that's Voldicon, my stream viewers, we all went camping out in Uwharrie. And so we, loaded up the camping backpacks, and we walked out there for about, we hiked for about 3.5 hours on the Uwharrie Trail, and we ended up at a campsite near a creek. And it was pretty hard for my lady friend because she wasn't used to hiking. And to anybody out there that if you've never done hiking before and you're not like you don't really have the fitness for it, it's pretty hard. Hiking up the side of mountains and climbing rocks and stuff, it's pretty tough. So, but she pushed on through, and I'm proud of her. But we made it to the campsite and we set up, and it was great. I mean, I've gone camping a number of times, and not as many times as I would like to, but a number of times. And being out in Uwharrie, being that deep out in the woods, like in some proper woods, I mean, you talk about like just silence. There's no cell service, none of that stuff. And well, my cell phone was dead, so I don't know. But I had no cell phone, and it's just quiet. It's just like all you hear out there is the creek. That's all we could hear, the little waterfall and trickle of the creek. And we as soon as we got there, I don't know about Zach because I've never actually spoken to him. We've been friends for a little while, but I've never actually had a conversation with him. Like, how well do you know woods and wood stuff? But we kind of like I sat down and sort of laid out like, okay, like lady friend, you're gonna do this. To Voldicon, you and your wife are gonna do this. Zach, you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this. And we got the campsite up, and once the night started falling, it was cool. Like we had like, it was after like the sun had already gone down. This big group of hikers actually walked past our campsite, like out in the woods, and we saw them with their headlamps on. And it was a bunch of kids actually. It was probably like 12 kids.
Oh, wow.
And I was like waving at them. I was like, hey, and I heard them talking because it's so quiet out there. And
yeah,
they were like, oh, should we go like over there and say hello? And like the parents were like, oh, no, let's keep going, let's keep hiking. And so they were just night hiking, which I think night hiking is pretty cool. Very dangerous though, so be careful, guys, if you try that. But there were two things that were kind of like scary, I guess, when we were out there. The first thing was before we went out there, before we ever even took a step out there, I was talking to my lady friend, and I was like, hey babes, like, can you check the temperature in that area like tomorrow night, so I know like how cold is it going to be. Apparently it was going to go down to like 40 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my god, like I thought I was going to probably stay up in like 70s or something, like somewhere in there, like nice and warm. 40 degrees, like that's just above freezing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, holy, wow, we just kind of entered into a situation. So I take like cold weather. I mean, some people like, you know, you Canadians up there, I know you guys like, you guys up north are gonna leave your comments. 40 degrees,
it's like summertime.
I know you guys are gonna leave those comments, but listen, down here in the south, okay, that's kind of cold. All right, so I don't want to fucking hear it. All right, well, Crendor doesn't want to hear it because it's his channel, but
yeah, well, but probably there's also gonna be a comment about Celsius versus Fahrenheit.
Yeah, yeah, of course. The Americans Fahrenheit hurt. Listen, be quiet. So, but that's pretty cold, and so like we carried some extra blankets out there, and so that was kind of like scary for me because I mean, at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know how familiar like Zach is with camping, but I kind of view it as like, since I'm the one with the most experience, these people are my responsibility, and I have to keep them safe and healthy. And when we were out there, actually during the night after we had retired and gone to bed, after we were done singing songs, I sang a song for my lady friend and for my friend Zach and really everybody, which my lady friend found hilarious. And you Australians out there will probably know Waltzing Matilda, but for some reason she just thought that song was hilarious. So yeah, Waltzing Matilda. Are you familiar with that song, Crendor?
I am not.
Crendor. All right. So anyway, so we're laying in the tent, and I was asleep during this part, but I just heard like later on. But apparently, well, I woke up and I could hear like just this sound I cannot even begin to describe. I can't describe it. It just sounded like I knew what it was, but wow, so many all at once. It was creepy. Just echoing in the mountains. It was like a large pack of coyotes, all like howling and shouting and like making noises, and it was like probably like a good little ways away, but I could hear them like yelling at another pack of coyotes like further like out into the mountains. And it sounded like Zach described it perfectly in the morning because he was awake during the whole thing. He was like, dude, it sounded like a bunch of demon children just out in the woods, just like laughing and cackling.
Oh my god.
And according to my lady friend, I was asleep during this part. Apparently they came up to our campsite. Like they like all of them, like she was like, oh yeah, like she's like, I can't believe you slept through it. Like they were making those noises. Like they came to our campsite, like probably 10 meters away, she said. And they were like sniffing around the campfire, like making their noises. And apparently I slept through it. And I only woke up after they had left. And I was like, whoa, cool. So, but yeah, she said she was terrified. But I was like, nah, they won't bother you. But the only thing that potentially would scare me out there is like, I don't know if you guys know anything about this, talking to you European people out there, but we got Bigfoot over here, and Uwharrie National Forest is a Bigfoot prime sighting area. So friggin' Bigfoot, man, like got some big feet out there. So if I encountered a Bigfoot, that might scare me, but everything else is like, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, it's just an animal, it'll run away. But it was good. But the only other thing to say is, you know, we woke up and it was a long hike out, and my friend Toby, he stepped in a hole and he twisted his ankle a little bit, and you know, I'm carrying like a big like proper hiker's backpack, and I'm carrying like a 6-person tent on there, and I probably had like 100 pounds of stuff in my backpack at least. And even with, you know, the support of a hiker's backpack, it was still pretty heavy. But when I saw that Toby was limping and falling behind, I went back and I grabbed his regular backpack, which I don't know how much it weighed, but it was just full of stuff like water bottles and who knows what. And I threw that over. I had a big hiker's backpack on my back, and I had his heavy ass backpack on my chest. And I walked for 3 hours with both of those on me. And I know that. Yes,
it's like
I know.
Some boot camp shit or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't, because he was really struggling. Like he was really falling behind, and I mean, I couldn't leave him behind and have him struggling like that. So I took the weight off of him, and It was terrible for my dude. When I took all that weight off my back, like, oh my gosh, like I seriously was probably carrying at least like 150 pounds on me. Like I had to have been somewhere around there, maybe 130 to 150. And when I took that shit off, like it was like, oh, I felt like my spine like expand back into like its normal state. Like it was so heavy, and I mean after 3 hours, I mean it was oh my god. But we got out of there, and he ended up being okay. He just had to like sit for a while, in the car, and it was a long drive home, but it was fantastic. And then we went up to the Virginia Creeper Trail. Long story short, it's like a 35 or 32 mile trail, but most people do the 17 mile section, and it's just all downhill. You rent a bike, and then you get sent to the top of the mountain in a van with the bikes and stuff, which is what we did. And then you just ride the bike just down the mountain, 17 miles, and you just enjoy going over bridges and passing by waterfalls and everything. It was great. I loved it. Stayed up in a cabin up in the mountains after that for about 3 or 4 days, and then it was just very relaxing, just being out in the quietness of the mountains for a while. I liked it.
It's always just something I've always wanted to do as someone who loves those like survival type of shows. It's one of those things where like I love them for a reason.
Guys, I keep telling Crendor to come down here. He ain't coming down here. I'm like, let's go.
Listen, it's only been 2.5 months since I got my gallbladder out, all right?
Well, you'll be all right.
I'm working on it, all right?
You can walk it off. You'll be all right.
It's
I'm working on it.
For years, like I've just loved Survivor Man, like obviously why I've made my Orc vs Wild things, because I loved Man vs Wild. It's like even if all of it was fake, there's still the aspect of like just a person being out in the wilderness and like hearing the sounds and seeing all the sights, like the green trees and the grass and the fire. And like I love there's this one Survivor Man episode where it's like a fake plane crash, and I remember he has this axe and he's trying to start a fire with it, and I love, it's like an ASMR moment. He takes the like flint and the axe, and it's just like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And I'm like, oh my god, that is, I could listen to that for hours. Like, so good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's one of those things where I just I would love to go out and do that type of thing. So I mean, I'm definitely down to do it.
Dude, man, come on down. Everybody's saying in the comment section, just say go on down. Just go on down in all caps.
People want a vlog. They want a non-content just a mega vlog of us camping.
You can do the non-content version. I'll make the proper vlog and put it on my channel, like a 15-minute video.
Yeah.
I actually talked to my lady friend about it, because in the morning we were all eating rice, and we were talking, and she said something about, because we talked about you when we were out there. I forgot how the conversation started, but in a nutshell, we were talking about like, oh, like we got to get Crendor out here, like me, my lady friend, and you, and if you want to bring your lady friend, like by all means, and then we'll vlog the adventure. I was like, yeah, let's do it, man. We'll walk we'll do maybe like a 2-day camping thing. We'll like hike for however far we can get on the first day, and then we'll camp, and then we'll hike further on the next day, and then camp one more time, and then hike out.
Dude, speaking of hiking,
oh great,
I for the first time in like a long time, I went and did like actual like intensive kind of exercise. 'Cause ever since my gallbladder, like I've done like lightweight type, like free weight type of stuff. I've gone walking a lot, but I haven't really ran or anything, So like the other day I was like, you know what? I'm going to go play basketball. And so like I went out and I was playing basketball, just like shooting baskets, like running around, getting the ball. And I was like, oh my God. Like I realized how out of shape I was. Like just like my chest was like, oh my God, it's heavy. Like I got it, I'm like, I'm not having a heart attack or something, but it's just like, oh my, like my lungs are just trying to get back to capacity. Like just being down for so long just takes its toll on your body. And it's like, I don't want to be like this. So I've started just walking more, and I'm like, I'm going to play like some sort of sport or like something where you're like an intensive activity, even just running for like once a week. It just helps your lungs and just your body. I don't know. It makes you feel better when you go out and do that type of thing, especially when you're sitting around all day in a chair trying to play video games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, dude, I did my 7-day run challenge that I told you about. I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, I just did a a little like physical fitness challenge, and I was like, I'm gonna run for 7 days. So not every day, but I did like run, skip a day, run, skip a day, blah blah blah, 7 times, 7 run days, and I went from barely being able to run like half a mile to a mile to being able to run over 5 miles without stopping in just 7 days.
Oh, wow.
I mean, running is talking to the audience here because I know you know this, but running is, if you want like an exercise where you'll see results so fast, it's running. Like you'll first day you run, oh, it sucks. Like you're like, oh my god, that was horrible. Like you feel sick, you feel like you're gonna vomit. Second day, you can probably run maybe, like let's say on day 1 you ran a mile. Day 2, you could probably run 1.5 miles, and you're like, oh, that sucked, but it sucked a lot less. I still feel a bit sick, but it wasn't too bad. Day 3, you can run like 2.5 miles, and you're like, all right, I'm tired, but that wasn't too bad. And then by like day 4, you're like, oh, this is great, and then you start getting the runner's high. Which, if you speaking to the audience here, maybe even to you too, Crendor, if you've never experienced the runner's high in your life, you got to do it at least once.
Oh, I've experienced the runner's high.
You have?
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Oh,
it's pretty
great. It's just you're running and you just want to keep running. Like you just your body gets addicted to it. Like, oh, just run.
Normally the way it worked out was I would start walking, and then after a while of walking, I'm like, I can just mix some running into here, and then I'd start running, and after a while of that, I'm like, oh my god, I love running, and you just like get it. You do get that high. It's very nice. But like, I've been trying to get back into that. 'Cause like I started walking. Like I had to take my car to the mechanic the other day. I was gonna get an oil change, so I'm like, all right. And so I took it to the mechanic, and I'm like, I can just walk places. So I walked to like a breakfast place. I got breakfast, and then I just walked around like a park. I walked around just like taking in nature. I'm like, this is great. And then 5 days later, it like started raining, and I was out driving, and there's like a police car blocking off a road. So I'm like, oh, I gotta turn around. I guess this like road's flooded or something. And I go to turn around, and the other road was flooded apparently, and so I hit like a giant ass patch of water, and I was like, oh my god. And I like barely made it through the water, and then my car started being like like kind of stuttering through it, and I was like, that's not good. So I took it to the mechanic again, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do the same thing. So I like took it to the mechanic in like the morning, and then I go and get breakfast. Like normally I wake up at like 1 or 2 p.m. and like I was waking up at like 10:30 a.m., 11 a.m. And so I was like, oh my god, like I can get breakfast, I can walk around, I can go like make a video. There's something about the morning that's more productive. I think it's because everybody else is at work or everybody else is doing productive things, so you feel the need as well to be productive. Or there's just not as many people distracting you because they're doing stuff. So I don't know if that's part of it. Like
maybe.
Speaking of what's your sleep schedule essentially, or is that like fluctuating based on your life?
Well, right now, I mean, because of the vacation that I took, I usually normally, I mean, over the past month, I'd be in bed let's see, what time is it? 1. I would have been in bed like 2.5 hours ago. But here I am. But I've been like going to bed at like 10, and then I wake up at like early in the morning, 7, or sometimes I go to bed around like midnight and wake up at like 8 in the morning. So I'm on a pretty like normal schedule right now, aside from tonight. But it's been pretty good. I mean, I love working in the mornings, and then I work in the mornings, and then I stream in the afternoons over on Twitch, and then I just kind of chill out for a little bit and just do whatever it is I want, and then I go to bed. And
what's like the worst your schedule's ever been?
The worst my schedule has ever been. I think that would be back when it was back when I first started on YouTube. It was back when I lived with my mom years ago, and I was starting on YouTube, and we had horrible internet. And the internet was like, for example, I don't know what the upload was, but I know the download was 3 megabytes a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like right now I have 100 in this house, but I'd like to upgrade to 300 once the lady friend moves in. But we'll see. But it was 3 download. I don't remember what the upload, but it was bad. It was really bad. And so what I would do is I remember like even uploading like a 5-minute machinima video back then would take hours, hours and hours. And so I would go to bed and then I would wake up. Like I'd set my alarm clock for like 3 hours later. I'd wake up, I see it wasn't finished, you know, uploading. And so I'd set my alarm clock for 1 more hour, go back to bed, wake up. Okay, I finished uploading. Then I would do like the title and like the tags and everything. And I'd set up the like the when it's supposed to come out and stuff. Yeah, I don't I just remember that was just a big pain.
So
and then
essentially going to bed and then waking up 3 hours later and then doing that and then going back to bed and then waking up.
Also, when I was there was a time in my life where before I started doing like online stuff full time as like a job, I worked. My last job that I had before this one was I was a cashier / bagger for a grocery store, and it was the worst time of my life. Not that because of the job, but I was working there, you know, like 20-30 hours a week. I was going to school full time, and I was also doing YouTube.
Wow.
So I was just working all the time, like every day. And this went on for like, I don't even remember. It's like a blur. It was maybe like 9 months, six to 9 months. This went on, this like period of my life. And it was the worst time of my life.
Do you even sleep, or how much did you sleep?
I was sleeping like 3 to 4 hours a night.
Jesus.
It was bad. Like there's never been, without going into too much detail, like there was a very low part of my life. You know, it was not candies and rainbows to like get to the point on YouTube where I was able to do it like as a job. It was hard and it was stressful and it was bad, but I got there eventually when I was like, yeah, I can do this as maybe a job. I just have to really pinch my pennies. Don't eat out anywhere for a little while. Until I actually am making a little bit more so I can do that.
That's one of those things too, where like we may complain like we did at the start, like, oh, we don't get any vacation time, we don't get it, but it's like we're still extremely grateful that this is our career essentially, right?
Oh, yeah, it's the best job in the world.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to take off for a lot of people. It took a while for me. You got to put in the work and the effort, but if you really genuinely have like a passion for entertaining people and creating content, you'll make it. And if you don't, you won't. It's just
like I was talking to you off stream about it. I mean, like I did WoW Machinimas for years, like consistent WoW Machinimas for years, to the point where like that helped me grow to where I am today. So I'm always thankful for that. But like now I've transitioned more to like streaming and just a variety of things. And it's to the point where like I'm not like, oh man, you know, I wish I could go back and do that, or wish it's like I love streaming. There's never a moment where I'm like, oh man, like this sucks, I gotta stream today. It's like, oh, I can stream for like a few hours if I'm not feeling as great, or like I can, you know, and then some days I'll feel great and I'm like, hey, I can stream for a lot of, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think you have to really enjoy the aspect of entertaining other people. And because I'm somebody who, like, I'll always watch other people's streams as well, so I'm like, oh, this is nice background noise and whatever, and then I think to myself like, hey, people think the same thing about me, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I creep in your streams every now and then. So yeah, you've seen me. So,
I have seen you.
I've seen you creep in mine too. It's great.
It is.
Like, that's Crendor.
Yeah.
To answer your question, that was the worst probably for me. That was bad, but
yeah.
And yeah, just what you're saying. Yeah, I 100% agree. I'm not complaining at all. It's just if you, I'm just gonna say it one more time. I want to put it in people's heads.
Emphasize.
I'm gonna emphasize this. If you truly love entertaining people and being creative, and you've got the discipline and the dedication, and you want to be a content creator, you'll make it. But if you don't, if you're lacking in any one of those fields, you won't make it. Like, you got to put the hours in, unless you just make a viral video of you, I don't know, like shoving a spray paint can up your ass or something, like, and it just goes viral. Like, okay, fine, I guess you made it. Like,
yeah, there's always exceptions.
There's exceptions. Some people just get lucky out of the blue, but you're not going to be that person. I guarantee it. So
yeah, like I mean, I have over 100 machinima videos, man. Like it's insane. Like over 100. That's like one every couple of days for a year.
Yep. Where are all the machinimas at?
Where are they at? I miss the machinimas.
They're right there.
People always like Crendor. Where like I think you probably experienced that a bit later because I think you started making machinimas more towards actually when did you start making machinimas? Like when did you really get into it? I mean like expansion wise.
Oh, Burning Crusade.
Oh really?
Yep.
Is that far back?
I was making machinimas back in BC, man. I was on a different YouTube channel at the time though. But yeah, I mean machinima's been my hobby since I was really young. Because I always wanted to be into film and I couldn't afford a camera or anything, and mommy and daddy wouldn't buy me a camera, and so machinima was like, oh, you know, I could do like these video game movies, and so I got into that. But I didn't like really start doing like serious machinima. Like, well, when I say serious, I mean like releasing it on like a more semi-regular basis, which at the time was like once a month at the time. That was back in like Cataclysm. So yeah, but my first machinima on my channel was released back in Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, it's been a while. When I started too.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like it was on and off until Cataclysm, and then near the end of Cataclysm, I started doing machinima a little bit more seriously. And Mists of Pandaria is when like the Nixxiom Mukluk duo was born. And then Warlords was when, you know, Mists and Warlords is when me and like Mukluk grew, and then here I am today. So yeah, but go on. What were you gonna say?
I was saying it's always interesting to just see other people's paths they take and the stories and everything. Because I mean, me as like Wrath of the Lich King, I watched all of my friend Rurikar Rob's videos, and I loved his style of humor and I loved his machinimas, and that really inspired me to kind of make my own. Because I was like, he's not really making them anymore. He moved on. So you know what? I'm going to make those types of things. Because I was like, people obviously really enjoy them, and I really enjoy them. So I think I can do that, and maybe not as good, but almost as good. And so I just did that, and it was like, boom, you just blow up, and people love it. And I was like, you know what? I'll like go back and watch my own videos and be like, I thought that was pretty funny. You know, like not to be like, I'm so funny or that, but like, I'll just be like, hey, I really enjoyed that script I wrote, or like everything I put together, and be like, oh yeah, I remember making that. I like skipped my community college class to stay home and make that video. And things like that, where it's like, I'm very thankful that I actually did skip that class and like not do that. You know what I mean?
Dude, when during, you know, April when I was on vacation, when I was thinking about, you know, when the passion was coming back for just everything, and I was like, oh, breath of fresh air. I actually rewatched some of my old machinima videos, and just like what you're saying, you know, I was rewatching some of my older videos, and I was just like, I had forgotten like so many of the jokes, and like I had even forgotten like the process of making the videos, and I was kind of like watching my own videos like almost as a viewer. And like for example, one video that I watched was How to Vanilla. And it was a joke. It just made me laugh my ass off. And I'm like, yeah, I wrote that joke. Like, it made me laugh. But it's like right in the beginning of the video, the noob, he goes back in time to Vanilla WoW, and he's got like the new character model. And then the 58 Death Knight is right there. And he's like, oh, like, what's that? Like, stupid Warlords of Casuals, like, character model. Like, you know, turn that shit off. And the noob's like, oh, sorry. And his like head starts vibrating, and he like turns into this like low polygon version of himself, like the old character model. And then the DK is like, oh yeah, see, now you look so fucking awesome. And it like just zooms in on his low pixelated face, and he's like, that just made me laugh like so hard. I'm like, because it looks like so fucking bad.
I think one of my favorite. All right,
but that's how we are. That's how we classic people are. Like, old models are awesome. Go on.
I was gonna say I made one machinima. I don't even remember when I made it. It was like if WoW was easier, and I made it in like Cataclysm, or like way back then. It was just like, oh, we'll have Herbalist Island, where it's just a bunch of herbs for you to gather, and you go there and you gather them all, whatever. And essentially, it all came true in Warlords of Draenor, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Blizzard is like creating my comedic version of their world. It's just like blowing my mind. And I even I did the same thing with the Dark Moon Fair, because I remember like years ago I made a thing making fun of the Dark Moon Fair.
Yeah.
And it was like,
what was it? Oh, what if the Dark Moon Fair was fun or something?
Yeah, something like that. And it was like Billy goes to the Dark Moon Fair and he's like, wow, this is crazy. And yeah, it's just something like that. And I always am like, I helped create the new Dark Moon Fair, even though it's just, some corporate guy being like, reinvent that shit. And they're like, yes, boss. But I still like to be like, I helped.
I helped. Yep.
But it's I don't know, it's just a fun thing to do, because you're just at that point you're becoming part of the community, but you're doing it in a fun way. And it's always nice to see people that watched your videos like throughout the years. Like I played League of Legends the other day with some dude who was like, oh my god, you're WoWcrendor. Like I started watching your videos in 8th grade, and like I'm in college, like I graduated college now. Like it's hitting that point where I'm like, oh my god, dude, like I am people's like cartoons they watched when they were kids. Yeah, like childhood nostalgia. Yeah. And it kind of blows my mind. So I'm like, wow, I have been doing this that long, to the point where people have graduated like grade school, high school, and like even college, or they're in college. I don't know. It's mind blowing. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course. Yep. Yep, there's definitely, I've gotten a lot of comments like that myself from young people and older people alike that have been watching me for years and know who I am. Sometimes I'll even, it's very rare, but I got a message from somebody who knew me even before like the Machinima stuff, like a long time ago. They're like, hey, are you like Nixxiom from like this server? And I'm like, yeah, like holy shit. And they're like, yeah, dude, I was so-and-so. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember you. Like, damn. Like, yeah, man, like, look at you. Like, goodness gracious. Back in the day, you were just a casual raider. And now look at you. Like, yeah, man, it's me. Like, so.
One of my favorite things still is how we met, and how we kind of didn't, like, get along at first, because we didn't really know each other. And I remember, like, yeah, not like, oh, I met you and I hated you or something like that. Just like, I remember seeing your videos like, who's this random guy making Machinimas? And you were like, this guy's getting all these views and he's not even funny, and that type of thing.
Oh yeah, it was great. I loved it. WoWcrendor shit talked my Warlock series.
Yeah.
He did. Like, I'll never forgive him. It was boring.
Yeah.
Looking back, they're horrible. He was right.
Honestly, it was pretty boring.
Honestly, WoWcrendor's not that funny.
I agree, I'm not that funny.
WoWcrendor's great. No, man. Yeah, it was. That was back in the day. It wasn't that I hated WoWcrendor. It was just I was jealous of him.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was. And it's fine. You see somebody like you're bigger, or they're bigger than you in whatever respect, whether they're a more established author than you are, or bigger YouTuber, more popular artist on DeviantArt, and like the jealousy like sets in. Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, you can disagree with this in the comment section, guys, but you're wrong and I'm right. And I know I'm right because I'm Nixxiom. But like, dude, if you like look at a content creator who has done nothing wrong to you or to anybody, like, and you're like, yeah, that, for example, I'm gonna grab a random content creator. I'm gonna grab Swifty. All right, Swifty. I mean, maybe Swifty has gotten involved in some drama, but I'm not aware of it. All right, I don't really watch Swifty, but to my understanding, Swifty is just a jolly, gentle giant that likes to play video games in his gaming house.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think he's ever heard a fly. If you don't like Swifty and you're like, man, fuck that Swifty guy, I hate him, you're jealous of him. Like, why else would you not like him?
I think that's part of growing up, is just learning to not be that person.
Yeah, or just admitting it. Just being like, oh yeah, I'm just jealous. Now let me try to be who that person is, if that's what you want to do. And that's all it was with Crendor. Like back in the day, like it was like, oh, Crendor was a much bigger YouTuber, and and it was just like, oh yeah, look at Crendor, like he's kind of funny, but I'm funnier and I should get more views than him. It's just jealousy. And then eventually you kind of realize that and you admit it to yourself. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just jealous.
Yeah,
and then
I had that same type of thing even with like people like Oxhorn or Mindflame or any of those guys. I was like, these guys get so many views.
I remember back in the day when you talked some shit on the WoW forums about other machinima makers. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. WoWcrendor was talking some shit on the WoW forums a long time ago. I was there.
What did I say?
It was what you did. I'll never forget what you did. Is WoW had a contest, a movie contest, and who was it that won? It was I believe it was X-Cross that won, and you made a forum post. And you said something along the lines like, this isn't fair because these people have like Adobe After Effects and these fancy editing programs, and Blizzard should take into consideration the fact that not everybody has that. So videos like mine should be more highly considered.
Dude, that are like, I don't even remember that. I remember that memory.
That was the first time I remember seeing your name, and I was like, "Who does this guy think he is?" Like, man, I knew X-Cross, and I was like, "Man, you know how many hours he put into that shit?" Like,
yeah.
Oh man, fuck this like Crendor guy, like, ranting and raving. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I've grown up so much since then.
Oh
like,
yeah, of course.
It's kind of like I remember what was that? Who was that? Somebody made such a good BlizzCon entry, and it got second place. It was like,
"Oh, I Am Forsaken" by Red Eye.
I Am Forsaken. That's what it was. I loved that video. I loved that. It was so good. I was like, this is one of the best machinimas I've ever watched, like in my life.
Yep.
And it got second place, and I was like, what?
And Machinimas, he came in first.
It blew my mind because I was like, that machinima actually got me to like feel emotions. Like I was like, oh my god, like, this is so good, and it got second place. And it was one of those things where I was like, wow, this is so much better than anything I've made with my like dumb jokes I just throw in there. I don't know. It's I think it's just like I said, another part of just getting older is you start appreciating other people's work, and you're like, you know what? I don't have to be the best at something or like the best at anything. You just want to contribute.
I want to be myself.
Yeah, you just want to be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Mashunga, guys, before you like rip on me, I love Mashunga and I love his work.
Yeah.
But I think even Mashunga said on Twitter back then, he was like, dude, that video totally deserved first place, not mine.
Yeah. Like, if you don't know what we're talking about, look up I Am Forsaken on YouTube. That video, oh my god.
Yeah,
that's like a spicy Mamma Mia masterpiece. It's so good.
Yeah. Was it Red Eye that made it, or who made it?
I think it was.
I think yeah.
Hold on, let me look right now. I need to know.
Was gone. Pretty sure it was Red Eye.
I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was Red Eye Lobine.
Yep, Red Eye Lobine. Yep.
2010.
Woo!
Wow, that's a long time ago. 8 years, may as well be 80 years.
Gosh, time just flies. Might as well be 80, exactly.
And the internet like multiply. It's like dog years. You just multiply it by 5 every year.
Exactly.
It's it's like one of those things where I was playing games with Jesse, and everyone's like, "Wow, Crendor is just more confident than he used to be," and it's like, well, I'd hope so.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a few years.
It's been a few years. I've grown as a person. I've gone through shit. I've got my gallbladder taken out. I've had a catheter shoved into me. All right, that'll change a man. That'll change a man easily. Oh my god.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we hit the record.
Yep.
He was like, Nixxiom, just do your best not to get a catheter in your life. And I was like, I'll try.
It was one of those things where even before I had the catheter ever put in, I was like, I don't think I'd ever want a catheter put into me. Like, who would? And then once I hit that point of like, I can't urinate, I'm going to need this. It was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. And they just right up in there. And it's like, wow, I will do whatever it takes to never have this happen again.
Yeah. Did you go to your girlfriend and were you like, check it out?
No, at that point, I was like, I don't know. I was a husk of a person at that point.
Okay.
I was, you got like a surgical wound. You're like getting out, your digestive system still recovering. You're like waking up from anesthetic. she was just like, she was just happy I was alive at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know, anything could happen in surgery. You could die. It's like, well,
all
right. I lived a good life.
I can imagine you just every time like Crendor tells me these crazy stories, I can just envision his face perfectly. I can just see you laying in the hospital bed with your like little dinky hospital outfit on, and the lady's like, anything can happen in surgery, sweetheart. I mean, you could die, and you're just like, well, looking up at the ceiling.
The thing is, like, I've become so much more sloth-like, I think, compared to even my older YouTube video. Like, you go back and watch my Crendor IRL old videos. I'm a lot more cynical. I'm a lot more, kind of like how I was. I'd say writing forum posts being like, I'm great, even though it's just my insecurities coming out. And now I've just become like a full-blown, like, whatever, man. You know? Kind of like, I've done YouTube. I've lived my fun life, you know? I've done all this, like, if we get hit by a comet tomorrow, I'm pretty happy with what I've accomplished. It's just, you know, you hit that point where you're like, all right, well, we're having surgery today. Let's do it. It's like, all right, you look up. Yeah.
I walked in there and I was like, let's do it.
What's next on my checklist?
Yeah, so man. When they wheeled me in there, they're like, Mr. Smith, you ready? I was like, yeah. And I give them a big old thumbs up. Let's do it. Knock me out.
Yeah, they're like, you ready for a catheter? I'm like, well, it's going to be a great story to tell. And they're like, yep, it will be.
Dude, that's what I was telling my lady friend. I was like, dude, like, because they were talking about like miserable experiences in our life. Yeah. I was like, dude, but those are the best because they make the best stories. Like, it's like my friend Tate when he had to smash his wiener with 2 rocks. It's like, I bet that sucked, but it made for a great story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude.
Man. God, what was it? I remember I had the surgery, and I remember I was recovering and all that, and I remember I started streaming again, but I couldn't laugh. And so
yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, there's a point. I hadn't laughed in like 4 days. I was great at not laughing or sneezing, because I sneezed once and I wanted to die. It's one of those things where like I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze, and my surgical incision area was like, yo, bro, can you not fucking do that like ever again? Yeah. And I was like, sure thing, buddy. So I didn't. And then I was streaming with my friend Gmart, and we were playing PUBG, and I was just driving the car, and then, I don't know what it was, but something just made me laugh because I was like pretending to be an Uber driver or some shit. And I just was like, and I was like, oh! And I just like, I remembered why I hadn't laughed in 4 days. Yeah. And it was just, just oh my god.
Well, you have like you have a very like unique laugh.
Yeah, that's
like,
another.
You have, like,
yeah,
like you have a laugh where it's like people ask me to do your laugh on stream all the time. like do the Crendor laugh, and it's like you just make your diaphragm go like just attack your lungs for a brief second.
Well, I have my normal laugh where I'm like, and then I have my like
that thing that you do, the
dial-up modem
TV, the dial-up modem laugh. Yeah, okay, that's the best way to describe it. I've always called it like the static TV laugh.
Yeah, I always considered it a dial-up modem. I didn't even know I did it. It was what I didn't even know I did until people started pointing it out. It's like where I used to blink a lot. Have you ever seen my old videos where I blinked a lot?
Yeah, we talked about that a while back. Yeah,
that was just one of those things where I never had social interaction. Really, I was always a nerd that just sat at home on the computer. And then my first ever BlizzCon in 2011, I was like, all right, you know, I'm out doing social things. I'm gonna have my first alcohol, and then I never noticed that. My first alcohol, and then oh my god, I remember in one of my old videos, I was watching it on stream, and I was in my car vlogging, and I was like, I don't get people that drink alcohol. I think they're retarded. And I legit said that. And as I was watching that old video, I had a glass of wine, and I was like swirling it. I was like, huh, I don't like this guy.
Dude, that's how I used to be with like all forms of smoking. I was like, oh, if you smoke, you're an idiot. And now it's like if you're like, hey, Nixxiom, I got you a cigar. It's like, I'll be over there in a heartbeat. I'll be like, ooh, you got me a cigar? Like, nice. Like,
I really want to try a cigar actually, and I'm saving it to when I see you.
Okay.
I want to like legit save it. I want that moment to be like a special moment.
There's no way I would put this in your hands to start, but anybody listening to this that could appreciate this, like, good for you. But my friend Mike, shout out to Mike, he just took a cruise and he went out to like the Bahamas and around Cuba and everywhere. Brought me back a gift. He brought me back 2 Cuban cigars, like freshly made, like right out of the factory, and 2 like Cuban cigars. And he got like some small ones too, not like a short one, but like a tiny little stick cigar where it's kind of like really thin, and they are very strong. I mean, there's no way I would put that in your mouth, like, for your first cigar, because it will literally fucking kill you.
It's like having your first drink be like some like moonshine or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, like that's gonna fucking kill you. But yeah, if you ever like worked up to it, I'm saving those 2 cigars for a very special occasion. You know, very special. So. But yeah, dude, save your cigarness. Like, what we'll do, it'll be a vlog of like Nixxiom and Crendor camping, but also Crendor's first cigar.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be like out in the woods, like out in the mountains, and you'll be like, "Oh, I like it."
I don't know.
Now
I don't know how I'm gonna like it or not.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, Crendor. I tell people this all the time. Now you might be a little bit different. I'll bring a few different kinds for you to try, and if you don't like it, you can throw it away. I don't care. They're like $13 each. So they're definitely a good bit of money, but you're not gonna break my heart. But what I'll do is oh shit, just had a brain fart. What I'll do is essentially this is what I tell people: the more the cigar tastes like a horse's butthole, the more I like it. If it tastes like a big smelly horse asshole, like straight out of Oblivion, like those horse buttholes in Oblivion, I love those things. But that is the cigar like that I want to smoke. Like they're great. But you might like something with a bit more flavor. I don't know. I'll find something.
Is there like so as a person who enjoys wine and like alcohol and stuff, I'm a big fan of like a very oaky type of alcohol. Like I love tasting the barrel. If there's any cigar that tastes like a barrel, all right.
Yeah, you're gonna like the horse butthole, like just like me.
Good. Yeah,
all right, there's nothing better than smoking a horse butthole.
All right, sign me up.
All right, yeah, they're good. Like you'll smell the cigar. You're like, wow, this smells like a big old tobacco like factory, or you know, tobacco and hay and like everything. And you're like, yeah, and then you smoke it, and that's what it tastes like. You're like, oh, this is great.
Like I remember.
Just remember, Crendor.
All right.
Have you ever smoked anything before in your life?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that you don't inhale cigar smoke, right?
Yes, I've learned that from you.
Okay.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Thanks. That's my boy. All right. So I'll have to teach you how. I don't want you to be like my friend Kevin, right? Where like I was like, all right, now what you want to do? I want you to imagine you're sucking water through a straw, but you're gonna spit it on me. So you're not gonna drink it. You're just gonna pull it in your mouth and then shit it out.
All right.
I mean, when he did it, he was just like, it didn't even blow out. I couldn't even like. It was like one molecule of smoke came out of his mouth. I'm like, motherfucker, pull some smoke in there. You gotta like fill it up. Enough so you can taste it.
Have you ever smoked like cigarettes or even weed? Like, have you smoked like any other thing?
I've never smoked cigarettes and I've never smoked weed before, but I do smoke a pipe sometimes.
My grandpa actually smoked a pipe up until he got like some mouth sore and then he stopped.
Oh, dude, I love pipe smoking. Pipe smoking is great, but you have to be careful.
I've smoked weed a few times. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've smoked weed like twice, and it's a very weird type of thing. You just feel kind of like dizzy. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not like I don't get how people want to do it all the time. It's just one of those things or whatever. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I have my reasons why I've never smoked like weed before or cigarettes. And I've explained like on Twitch and in like a few videos and stuff, and people always give me shit for it. But I'm like, you know, whatever. But I the thing with pipe smoking, I'll definitely let you try pipe smoking as well. You know, if you've never smoked a pipe before, because I love smoking a pipe. I mean, it's like it's hard for me to decide what do I like more, a cigar or a pipe. But if I had to choose one, I'm gonna go with a pipe. Pipes are just so relaxing, but you have to be careful about tongue burn. I remember I taught a young lady how to smoke a pipe one time, and no pun intended. And but I taught a young lady how to smoke my pipe, and she called me later on in the evening, and she was like, "My tongue really hurts." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm trying to brush my teeth, and it really, really hurts." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got tongue burn. You smoked too fast. I told you not to do that." And like, it's where you literally give your tongue a first degree burn, and it like really fucking hurts. So, but everybody makes that mistake. It's the trial of the pipe smoker. But yeah, I love pipe smoking. I actually, dude, fun fact about pipe smoking, my friend Ben, he bought this, I do not remember what it's called, but he brought this tobacco over to my house one day, and before you guys like crucify me in the comment section, I smoke a cigar or a pipe like once a month. It's like it's a on occasion thing, like for special occasions only, so I don't think I'm like puffing right now and like every day. But
every day, bro.
But no, like my friend Ben, I hadn't seen him in a few months, and he came up to my house and he's like, "Dude, I got something really special we can share." And he actually he did some research, and he figured out that like J.R. Tolkien, you know, he was a big pipe smoker. Like every photo you see of him online, he's smoking a pipe. Glorious. And he did some research and found the tobacco that Tolkien used to smoke, like his favorite tobacco. We tried it together and we smoked it together. It was actually really good. I liked it. I was like, damn, I see why this is his favorite. Like, tasted good. So yeah. But that was a like nice little special occasion between me and my friend Ben, who I hadn't seen in a while. But
I'll tell you a story about I tried an edible once.
An edible what?
Well, an edible, you know, marijuana.
Oh, like a brownie?
Yeah, but it was a cookie. So it was New Year's Eve, and I was at my friend's house, and we're like, over in there, like, "Hey, we just got back from Colorado, and we have these cookies, and do you want to try it?" And I was like, "Sure. I've never tried anything like this before. Why not?" So they're like, "You eat half a cookie, and that's it." So I tried it, and I don't know if I liked it. It was very, it was very weird. So I ate it, and it took like 40 minutes for anything to even happen. I'm like, whatever, like, it's okay. And then all of a sudden, we're watching Harry Potter, and we're like, all right, whatever. And then I go to text on my phone, and I was like, oh my God, this is... So Whoa. Imagine, right, you got your phone, you're going to text, okay? You open your text messaging thing, and you go to hit the keyboard, right? You're going to type some letters. It was like, imagine like slow motion underwater. It was like, pew, pew, pew. And I was like, what the shit? And he's like, hey, we're gonna go get like some milkshakes. You want to go get milkshakes? And I was like, I can't drive. I was like, I can't. And he was like, oh, all right, I'll drive then. I didn't have any of that. And I remember just sitting in the car, and I was like, what if I'm underwater? What if I'm like slow motion? And I was like, wait, what am I thinking? I'm not underwater. I can breathe. Motion? And I was just thinking like all these things, and like 15 minutes had gone by, and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I don't think I want to ever do this again. It was just, I don't know. Some people must really enjoy that, but I was like, that blew my mind too much. I was like, nope.
Dude, Crendor, if we were fish, lakes would be islands.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Nah, man, like, dude, one thing that I mean, it comparing, contrasting here, like with pipe smoking, if you become like a fan of smoking a pipe sometimes for like relaxing, first of all, your intention with smoking a pipe is never to get high,
right?
It's to get zen, just like chill, and you'll know when you're in the zen. You're just like, it's like, you don't get that like like feeling, but you're just like, it just seems like everything just kind of chills out. Like there's no problems in the world. You're just kind of like, huh, yeah.
Well, here's
like,
the thing.
okay.
Like, I was always...
You become a sloth, essentially.
Yeah.
But,
whenever people would talk about weed, they'd be like, Crendor is always high. I'm like, I haven't even, I'm not high. And so in my mind, I was like, if I get high, I'm going to get so many amazing ideas. Like, I'm going to be like I'm going to be the creative genius. And I was like, none of that happened. I was just like, this is just kind of inhibiting my abilities to function.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, nothing. It's like, whatever. While something like alcohol with like wine, like a glass of wine or like a couple beers or whatever, it just kind of chills you out. Like I never have the intention of like, I'm going to get wasted, like white girl wasted or whatever. But that's why
I've never been wasted before. Never.
Yeah, I haven't either. I always enjoy like a buzz, and I enjoy maintaining the buzz, but I never want to like lose my ability to think or like function. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, my friend Mike, one of the last days on my vacation, my friend Mike is a brewer, and he brews his own mead and beer and ale and everything. And I've got a mead, a big old, like, probably about a gallon jug of mead in my kitchen right now, and it's about 20% alcohol. And we all sat around. We all went out like deep in the woods, like one of the last nights everybody was here, and we just like made a fire, me and my friends, and we just sat around the fire and just talked all night, and we just like were taking turns like drinking out of the jug. And that was nice. Oh my god, like that. I mean, I'm not a drinker like at all, and so like I was drinking that, and I mean, like I was like, oh my god. Like I was down at my mom's house, and she lives like 45 minutes away. Yeah. And it was like late at night, and I had to drive home, and I was like, dude, I need to stop drinking this. Like, I'm actually feeling something. Like, this is not good. And I hadn't even drank that much. But one thing that I really appreciate with this is me just nerding out for a second. I'm going to be classy for 3 seconds, audience, so please forgive me. But something I really appreciate about pipe smoking is it's something that maybe at first when you hear this, you might be like, ew, but it's something that like is very like appreciated. Pipes are usually like handed down, like, or, you know, it's actually better to buy a used pipe and to use a used pipe as opposed to a new one. Because, you know, it's like, you think about this, like I remember I was watching this classy guy on YouTube talking about it when I was like first learning how to pipe smoke. And he was he's like, you know, he's like, there's so many great minds like out there that have smoked like a pipe to like relax and chill and just kind of think. Like, you know, I named J.R. Tolkien earlier, you know, and imagine you had J.R. Tolkien's pipe and you're like sitting there and you're just chilling, you're smoking it. Like, think of all the ideas that pipe like produced and helped that man produce, and you're sitting there smoking the same thing and you're just kind of connecting. Like, I have a pipe and I'll pass it to like my son one day and be like, this was mine, this is what I smoked, this is yours now. You know, do with it what you will. Thing. Yeah, like I'll pass my pipe down, and then maybe he'll pass his pipe down to his son, and so on and so forth. And so but yeah, so like passing down a pipe is very like a very special thing, and yeah, so that's something that I like too. Yeah.
Well, I think any type of thing like that, whether it's alcohol or weed or pipe smoke, I always think it's in moderation.
Yeah, of course.
A controlled type environment is what it's the most like. I think when people get in trouble with anything is when they overdo it, or when they're doing it constantly to kind of cover up a deeper issue or a deeper problem. Or, you know, they're like, I have anxiety, or I have depression, or I have whatever, so I'm gonna mask it with this, you know, alcohol or weed or whatever it may be. And that's like, it's healthier if it's meant to be like, all right, I'm gonna chill out for, you know, an hour or two with this, compared to I'm gonna do this every day to cover up my deep-seated issues that I have. And I think that's kind of the difference, comparatively to like all these different I don't know, people using substances, essentially.
Yeah, I've only, like, when it came to cigar smoking, or when when my friend Voldikun and his wife were here last year, not this April, but last year, it was like, because they were here, I was almost like every other day that they were here, I was smoking a cigar with Voldikun. And, you know, we just go out and smoke a cigar on the back porch and have a good time. And after they left, it was actually the first time in my life, because like I said, I mean, I only usually smoke like once a month, if that. It was the first time in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, like they were gone. And I was thinking like, man, I could go for a cigar right now, man. I really could go for a cigar. And like for the next like few days, I just had like that craving to smoke a cigar. And because I had smoked so many, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, geez, I can only imagine like what people deal with when they get really hooked on this shit.
Yeah.
So, but no, I was able I just denied myself. And luckily, I mean, I'm you know, not to toot my horn, but I'm pretty good with my self-discipline, but everybody has room to improve. So, but I'm good with like denying myself things if need be.
That can be anything as simple as like playing League of Legends. You'd be like, I want to keep playing League of Legends. Like, I want that high of getting that ranked win and moving up in, you know, in ranking or whatever. Like, you can get addicted to anything. Because people, they always have the mindset of like, oh, you know, alcohol is addictive, or like drugs, or, you know, whatever. But it can be anything. It could be watching television. Like, I want to go home and watch my Netflix. I want to go home and what, you know. It's anything that's going to mask whatever problem you're having. Yeah. Or any type of work you should be doing, or like, oh, I should be doing this, but I'm gonna watch Netflix. I should be doing this, but I'm gonna, you know, drink alcohol to forget I have to do that. Like, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a strictly addictive substance that you're consuming.
Yeah, of course. I hear you. Yeah, I could say a lot about this subject, but I don't want to go too deep in a simple camping with Crendor video.
That is that is very true.
You know. So
well, I guess we're already like an hour and almost 20 minutes into it, so we should probably stop here. But
all right, that's fine.
Hey, it's getting warmer outside. I'm walking a lot. I'm pretty happy. I love the summertime. I think summer is my favorite season because there's like a lot of festivals and like things you can go to going on. It's warm out, so you can go walk outside, exercise. You can open up the windows and breathe in fresh air and everything like that.
What you gotta do? Because my favorite time of the year is the end of the year, specifically like October, November, December. What you gotta do? Let's give you plenty of time. You gotta come down here in November.
Okay.
And the reason why I say November is because there are two things. There's two good things about November. Number one, it's a cooler time of the year. So it's, you know, it's a little chillier. There's no ticks out in the woods and blah blah blah. You'll be all right. So it's perfect camping weather. But number two, there's a very special event that happens right next to my house in November, and it's the Renaissance Festival.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude.
And I've got costumes.
I've actually gone to the Renaissance Fair over here like for the past 2 years, and it's such a fun experience to go to. Like, everybody's dressed up. I've seen the Mud Brothers. All right, it's just these guys that like play around in the mud.
Watched your Cox and Crendor the other day where you talked about that. Me and the lady were watching that video.
It was so good. Like, every time we'll go to the Renaissance Fair, I'll get my like can of beer that they sell, and I'll have my turkey leg, and I'm like, let's go see the Mud Brothers. And he busts out his like little horn he's got, and he's like, burr, 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 and he plays this little song, and then they like throw mud at each other and they play around in the mud, and I'm like, this is everything I wanted it to be and more. I love it.
Yeah, dude. I remember the last time I went to the Ren Fair. Fun fact, I've never actually had a Ren Fair turkey leg before.
Oh my god, you gotta try it.
I tried last year. I was going to the Ren Fair every weekend, and I was like playing music and stuff for the kids, like with my instruments and stuff. And I stood in line with my friend Tate, who was with me, and he was playing music too. And we stood in line, like this huge ass line for like 20 minutes. Got up there. There was no sign or anything that said this, But there was like this, like, oh my god, this guy was like massive, like super fat dude, and he was like I mean, after he said bring me solo, he was like, oh, what do you want? I was like, oh, can we get like 2 turkey legs? And he's like, okay. And he told me how much that was, and I handed him my credit card, and he's like, oh, cash only. And I was like, I just stood in this line for 20 minutes. And he's like, yeah, cash only. And I was like, why don't you have a sign that says cash only? And he just like kind of shrugged. And I was like, I hate you. So I tried, but I didn't get it. But nah, dude, like my lady friend does like crazy like cosplay and shit, and so she's gonna be dressed up like who knows what, like some like elven like princess, and
yeah,
I'm gonna be like a freaking like ranger or some shit with my like little like guitar and my whistles and shit, and I'll give you like a jerkin to wear, and yeah, dude, just tell you come on down. With 2 vlogs, going to the Ren Fair and playing music and going camping and getting eaten out in the woods by Bigfoot.
Let's do it. I've always wanted to meet Bigfoot.
There you go. Big feet.
Need big feet out in them woods, I tells you.
Yeah, dude. I love big feet.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All right. We'll wrap it up. Let's
wrap it up. It's a good talk.
Yep.
I imagine we'll do another one of these when it's getting closer to the end of summer. We can talk about all that stuff. By the way, I just want to mention, what's your favorite WoW holiday?
Did Hollow's End. Like, no questions asked. Oh yeah, man, I love Hollow's End. It's the only like title I ever gave a shit to get. Check this out. Check it out. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Oh wait. Oh, I've already got it equipped. Nixxiom the Hollowed.
Oh my god. You do.
Yep.
You're not wrong. My favorite's actually the Midsummer Fire Festival.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know why. It's because, like, whenever I think of the Midsummer Fire Festival, I love being able to explore all the zones, because you got to go put out the fires or, like, light the fires in all the zones. So you get to explore everywhere in Azeroth or everywhere. And then on top of that, I have this weird nostalgic memory of being like in World of Warcraft. Yeah, being naked in World of Warcraft. Just being like putting out fires or lighting whatever it was with the Midsummer Fire Festival, and like the air conditioning being on in my house like 10 years ago. Like, I don't know why. And like it creates this weird nostalgic memory within me. And then that ties into Lord of the Rings somehow. You know how like at the first movie with Lord of the Rings, they have this big fireworks festival with Bilbo, and like they're like da da da, and it's like this big like thing where it's like the party for Bilbo. It like reminds me of that, and I think it's because I played Lord of the Rings online, like way back. I think it was like when WoW was in its really early stages. I remember for like a few months I played Lord of the Rings online, and they had this weird like summer festival thing. And I think that somehow ties into the WoW festival, and I don't know why. It makes it my favorite holiday.
Hold on. What is the significance of the air conditioning?
I don't know.
Like you're oh, I'm in my house and I'm putting out fires, and oh, the air conditioning's on.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that? I would assume the air conditioning is on. Like,
I don't know what it is. I have this weird nostalgic tie to air conditioning, where like.
What?
Some days in the summer, I'll open up all the windows, like all the doors, whatever, and it'll be like 90 outside. I'll get it so hot in the house. Then I close them all and turn on the air conditioning, and I'm like, yeah, that's where it's at. Like, it's not even just like, oh, it's hot out, I'll put on the air conditioning. That doesn't do it. It has to be like, I open all the heat, like, I let in all the heat, I open the windows, the doors, everything, get it really hot, and then I close everything and turn on the air conditioning. And I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Oh.
And it somehow ties into the Midsummer Fire Festival, because I think there must be some weird, like, maybe I was, like, dehydrated outside, and then I came inside and there's air conditioning. I don't know what it is. I wish I could go back and find the, like, key out. This is, like, some Inception shit, where I, like, gotta go, like, 3 dreams deep to figure it out. I don't know what it is.
See, what I really like, I like taking a really hot shower, and then, like, I keep my house pretty cold. Right. So I like to take a really hot shower, and then I'll dry off like most of the water as fast as possible, and then like I'll just step out of like the bathroom into my freezing cold bedroom as quick as I can, and it's just like Oh, as soon as like that ice like air
Yeah.
hits me, it's just like,
I
oh
think
yeah.
it's got to be something similar to that. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I think it's just maybe I was really hot outside and I went inside and it cooled me down and made me feel so good that my emotional ties, like my emotional nostalgia ties into that somehow. I don't know what it is, but it's just it always ties back into that.
I mean, I can kind of relate, but I relate more with pink lemonade because every time I drink
Yeah.
pink lemonade, I remember there was this one summer when it was really freaking hot outside, and I was doing BMX with my friends, and we were, riding around, grinding on rails and doing everything else, and it was so hot. It was like over 100 degrees, and I went to like I was just sweating bullets like the entire time, and eventually I went in my house. My friends went home. And it was like still the middle of the day, and I went in my house and like I just kept drinking pink lemonade, and like I wasn't cooling off. I was still like sweating, and I was so hot. I was just like drinking pink lemonade, and I just wasn't cooling off, and I drank like my body weight in pink lemonade, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. It was great. So every time I go to like a restaurant, if they have pink lemonade, I get it, and I'm just like, so
I want that to be the comment of this video is like, what weird nostalgic thing do you have for like whatever season it may be? It could be summer, it could be fall, it could be winter, like whatever it is. Just put it in the comments below. What weird nostalgic thing do you have?
There you go. And also, fun fact: if you go to Cracker Barrel, which is one of my favorite restaurants because I just like the theme.
Yeah.
If you go to Cracker Barrel and order a lemonade, I never knew this, but go to Cracker Barrel and ask for a lemonade, and they'll bring out this like giant glass frozen cup with lemonade in it. And I'm like everybody else gets like the basic bitch like plastic cups. I got this like iced over like glass like mug cup, and I'm like, damn. And the lemonade's okay. It's all right, but it's just okay. But the presentation is great. Like.
Whenever we'd go to Cracker Barrel, I remember we would stop like halfway because we'd go to the Wisconsin one. We'd go to the Wisconsin Dells, which was like a big thing here. And like halfway there, we'd get to the Cracker Barrel and we'd like stop. And I remember playing those dumb little like games.
Yeah,
the golf tees and the piece of wood.
And the game calls you an idiot when you mess up. It's great. If you can't do it, you're an idiot. Like, yep.
So yeah, share your nostalgic moments. They could be like my dumb nostalgic moments watching your videos from 8 years ago.
There you
go. Anything. There you go.
Yeah.
Also, please go rewatch my videos, please, so I can go.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for joining me again.
Yeah,
this camping video.
Yeah, dude. I'm a night elf again, guys.
Proud of you.
Yep. I played Horde all throughout Legion, but I'm back on the Alliance for Battle for Azeroth.
Hell yeah. That's only a few months away. We're getting close.
I know, dude. Then we get to play at Classic.
Hell yeah.
I want to hear those Classic announcements at freaking BlizzCon Blizzard.
All I know is I'm going to be live streaming all of my Classic WoW. I'm ready for it.
It's like, dude, I mean, I don't even know how long I'll live stream the first day Classic comes out. I mean, it's going to be completely unplayable, but I mean, if I can somehow manage to actually play it, I'll probably do. It'll probably be like my first ever 24-hour live stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna live stream until I'm like, guys, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like it's just,
I'm almost like tempted to like roll like on the U.S. realms just to play with you. Yeah, but I have like all like I have my community on like stream, and we're like gonna make like a guild and shit. So you should play the EU with me.
All I know is I'm making a rogue, and I'm gonna gank people in Stranglethorn.
Dude, that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, no, I might be doing a Tauren Druid. I said in my Classic Plans video I was gonna do an Undead Rogue, but I think I might do a Tauren Druid.
Well,
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Like all the classes are so fucking cool. Like I mean, it's hard to decide.
All I know is I want to give someone the same experience I had of being ganked in Stranglethorn by a rogue in the douchiest way possible.
We called it Cutthroat Vale for a reason, guys. Okay. Yeah.
I finally got my Green Hills of Stranglethorn pages.
Dude, I never did that quest. Like
I always bought them on the auction house.
God bless anybody who actually did that quest. Always skip that shit.
No, I would do it, but you had to go to the auction house. You had to buy the final pages you needed over there.
Yeah.
There's no way you could get them all on your own.
Dude, it was just like, man, you been walking around killing crocodiles and you getting all these papers in your inventory. Oh my gosh, I always get that quest. Maybe this will be the time when I finally do it. But I'll just say one thing about the classic realms. It's the one thing, I think I talked about it before. Blizzard, please. I know you watch Crendor's videos. Okay. Blizzard, please listen to me. No cross server bullshit on the classic servers.
Oh, no way.
And also, on the PvP realms on the classic servers, you got to bring the classic experience. If me and WoWcrendor, for example, roll on a PvP realm, like let's say Thrall PvP, and we play Horde characters, for example, we are Horde. You can't make an Alliance character.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be like classic.
It's got to be one only.
100% classic. You are a part of your faction. That's your community. That's your team, and that's your server. Period.
Dude, I remember when they were even when they were about to go to TBC, and they're like, "Hey guys, do you know you can make shamans as Alliance now and paladins as Horde?" And I was like, "This is dumb."
It's dumb. The game's ruined. The game is dead.
This is dead game. It's over.
Dead game. I'm gonna go back to Lord of the Rings Online. Granted, Lord of the Rings Online is pretty fun. It's the only MMO I've ever paid for a subscription for, other than
you
WoW.
can play instruments in it. It's great.
You can. I know. I love it. You can actually play an instrument. Like, not like, oh, just play it and your character goes. No, like you use like the number keys and you're like, like you can make songs and shit. It's great.
Our next video, we should just do that. Let's play some Lord of the Rings Online and play instruments in it. I think we should do that.
That is the greatest idea I have ever heard in my entire life. I'll like log into my character, and yeah, I'm playing on like Evan Star or something. Oh yeah, dude. Because we have to do. Let's do it. Re-download Lord of the Rings Online. I'm gonna do it too right after this.
Hell yeah, let's do it next time. We're doing that.
All right, sounds good. We'll hang out in the Prancing Pony.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. That's it for today. Wrap it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to both of us. I'll put Nixxiom's information in this thing below. And
thanks.
No problem. We'll see you next time, okay? Okay. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.